Good for you, man. That's what's up.
That was a great week.
Yeah, y'all ready to get into this conversation?
How do we translate from that?
It goes right into it. It goes right into it. boy.
How does it go right into it?
Because we're talking about entrepreneurship. And not quitting.
Oh.
So, yo, I seen this. You want to play it? I seen this clip from Joe Budden, and he was reading something from a music producer, right? And I thought it was so interesting because, it ain't nothing that I don't think about. It's something that I always talk about, kind of. But again, given the week that I had, it hit home because I'm like,
you needed that.
Kind of. It's crazy because somebody was like, if I was you and I seen it, it would be confirmation. But sometimes confirmation ain't always the confirmation that you want. Because sometimes, you don't want to hear that. It's like, man, I want it now.
Yeah.
I want what I want, and I want it now, right? So, I know that. But, sometimes, we human, we get caught up in, they always say, comparison to thief of joy. I ain't trying to hear all these sayings, man. I get it. But, nigga, I'm a person. I'm a compare. What the fuck you think? We were just here, and then you here, I'm a look. I can control my emotions, right? It ain't about how you feel, about what you do with your feelings, right? I can control my emotions. That don't mean I'm not human. So, I get caught up in a comparison sometimes. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, normal. Damn, this is true.
Yeah.
Fuck. Play the clip, man.
Most musicians don't fail because they're bad. They fail because their nervous system can't survive the industry. He said the biggest myth in music is that success depends on exposure. No, he said, it depends on whether your body can handle being unseen longer than you expected. The ability to create when numbers drop, to write when no one cares, to perform after rejection number 47. 447. Yeah, 4,047,047. He said 90% of rising artists crumble not from hate, but from the invisible weight of being ignored.
Yeah, you left Earth right there.
He revealed the real industry filter. Consistency under emotional pressure. Not talent, not looks, not luck. Just the ability to keep creating without collapsing into comparison, self-doubt, or the terror of being, quote-unquote, too late. Most artists don't lose their dream, he said. They lose their self-trust. He ended with a line that felt like a punch. Your biggest enemy isn't the industry. It's the version of you that believes you're running out of time. He is smoking, because that belief kills more careers than bad marketing or missed opportunities. And every musician in the room suddenly exhaled, like someone finally named the monster under the stage.
What y'all think?
Ate that.
Smoke that.
Okay,
Ain't nothing to say,
what Nipsey say? Still on plan A, pussy niggas on plan B. That's how I feel like.
Yeah, that's so relatable. It's like you be knowing stuff, you know that, but sometimes hearing it back is like
Confirmation.
Yeah, I needed that validation. I knew I wasn't tripping, and it's not even just musicians. I think entertainment in total. Entertainment is such a hard industry to be in, and I think that what makes it super hard is it looks so good. It always looks so good. And you'll have people coming up to you like, you up, you doing this, and no, yeah. And it's thank you. But they don't even know on the back end, how hard it is and how much you've really been grinding. And it's y'all see, this is you don't know this has been 10 years in the making. You don't know that baby, you're always way more famous than you are rich.
Yeah.
The money is never the same until you really, really get there. And it takes so long. So I think that's the part that's really fucked up when people be coming to you trying to congratulate you. And it's we want to accept it, but at the same time you just wait.
No, you know what's harder?
Wait.
I think what my space is what's harder when people ask you for advice or ask you to help them. And it's bitch,
I need
how the fuck I'm gonna help you? I ain't even got. But then I think about the times when I was in issues and I'd be like, all I can give you is what I got.
Yeah.
So I just give what I got. But that's what be eating me up. I ain't worried about recognition too much because it's I'm gonna do what I do. And the people I've learned to focus on positive things. So a lot of times it's the people that support me, I love them. I'm this person. People people put me in I was their top song in their Spotify rap type shit. And I'm okay, period. I know that's fucking right.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot of people, but it's but I appreciate the ones who do show up.
Because that means something.
But then it's I think when people see that, then it's oh wow, you're really doing stuff.
Yeah.
And it just be
It's like, yeah.
I wish that everything else in life aligned with the way it looked. And then people be like, I'm so proud of you. And I'll be like, thank you. But to me, now I've just translated the proudness into what I needed to be. Because it goes from somebody saying, like, I'm so proud of you. I see you doing this, this, and that. And even if I don't feel like that's the thing, for me, it's like, you can be proud that I've grown to this. Because there's so many people who haven't gotten here, right? Or I think of the things that I'm proud of or what I'm pushed through. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you see me.
For sure.
Yeah, I think I get trapped between being grateful and always wanting more. I think like the most frustrating part for me is like when perception supersedes reality.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you always gotta like we work to get here, right? No matter where we are. And you always want to be grateful for where you are in your space. But at the same time, you understand that like, man, you do look at other people and you be like, man, I know what I'm working towards. And it seems like they're closer than I am to get into what I want to do, right? Because we always looking at what they doing instead of really appreciating what we doing. And like some things that help me out is like when I go out and people like you the person that do the interviews or you the person that like it really bring me back to reality, not in some arrogant sense, but like in the sense of like, bro, like it is working, it's confirmation.
Yeah.
But like when I hear that, at the end of the day, the reality is the reality, right? So it's like, man, it gets tough because, like, I know I can joke about the bills and all that, but at the end of the day, these companies don't give a damn about your dreams.
Yeah.
They don't care that you got some checks on the way.
Yeah, so it's like, no facts. So it's like,
don't.
it's like you stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Because like, it's like, yeah, like I know that all I gotta do is keep going.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel like your reality or the space that you in don't have room to keep going. Because when that roof is caving down, it feel like all I got to worry about is right now and surviving right now. When I think what keeps me motivated, what keep me going is the time that I have, though.
Yeah.
Because it has been times where I ain't know where I was going to get it from. And I stuck it out and I got it. There's been times where all the numbers was down on YouTube. I got a big interview and it just blew up. It's been times where like I didn't have a guest in sight of who I was going to interview. And the next thing you know, the next season I got too many interviews, right? So I think when you go through it, like sometimes the best teacher is life, right? Sometimes the best teacher is experience. So I think holding on to that experience, but again, it'd be hard to hold on to that experience when the right now when it feel like it's so much pressure in the right now. It's like, yeah, I know it's gonna come. Yeah, I know the sun gonna shine, but nigga, it's raining right now. I need an umbrella for right now.
It's, you know what I say all the time, it's the difference between knowing and feeling. A lot of times we as people be like, you know, when you going through something you sad and people like, it's gonna get better, it's gonna be better. And it's like, I know it's gonna get better, but right now it don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Though. It feel like this shit is bad, and I can't really get out of it. So I think, you know, I think people gotta recognize the difference between the two and try to lean on the knowing over than the feeling. My father used to tell me all the time, feelings aren't facts. At the end of the day, you gonna feel what you feel. They fluctuate. They gonna come and go. But the facts are the facts, and that's what it is. And the fact is, it is gonna get better. It has gotten better, and it will.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of wrestling with this topic, right? And the reason why I feel like I'm wrestling with the topic is because when we talk about success, right, I think that sometimes I feel like the definition can be misconstrued at certain points in time, especially like the topic of how long are you willing to wait to be successful in a specific area, right? Because when Joe Budden said it, looking at Joe, if he would have kept on chasing being successful at a rapper, I don't think he would be the Joe Budden that we see today.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I'm like thinking about from the perspective of a pivot, and it's hard because it's like, okay, at what point do you have that pivot into like, okay, maybe I should try something else, or do I continue chasing this dream or something in that capacity? Because looking at him as that example, right? If the goal is just success, there's so many different roads to success.
That's
so I
valid.
think for me, with this particular topic, when you talk about like, is there a cap, right? It's just like, what is your ultimate goal? Because if it's just success, you could be successful at a lot of different things.
That's valid, yeah.
But, so as you were just having that conversation, I was just like, damn, but like, okay, if Joe Budden never stopped rapping, and he still raps from time to time, right? No, he doesn't rap at all? Okay, I thought when Drake was dissing him, but he would never be the Joe Budden that we see today.
Yeah.
So like, at what point do you within yourself like, okay, let me try this,
Try something
versus
got
that,
to
like,
have
and is that
discernment,
giving
though.
up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you really have to have discernment with yourself
Exactly.
because unfortunately sometimes people hold on to something just because they started there, and it's like and I don't mean to say this in like a bad negative way, but it's real. Do you think that you're good enough in this specific thing to keep chasing this? And it's like, if you're not, that's okay. That doesn't mean that skill is now useless or like it's null and void. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything to you. It can still benefit you in some sort of way. And I kind of use myself as an example for this. Like, I studied music for a long time, vocals, and I play the piano, but I don't consider myself to be a musician in the way of which that's my career path. That just never was. And that was something that I had to come to terms with. Like, this is not what you do. This is not what you are going to be good at. If you chase this, you're going to fail at that. Like, it just is what it is. And that's a hard pill to swallow when that was your only thing that you worked on for so long. But it's not that I've completely let go of music. Like, music is always going to be a part of me. I use music within the things that I still do within this space. And I think that you don't always have to completely let things go. Sometimes it is, like you said, a pivot. How are you going to use this skill to your advantage? And I think that that's more so what it's about. And what are you good at? What can you really market? What can you have longevity in? And think about it like that versus just being good at this one thing. Like,
Yeah.
you got to know yourself.
I think even I consider, like, even being in this space, right? Like you said, knowing what you're good at. Because for me, it's like, yeah, I'm a music artist, and that's my passion, and I feel like I'm great at it, and I truly enjoy it. It's everything. But I also truly enjoy this too, and I'm very passionate about this too. And I also feel like, you know, I knew, like, I've been a yapper my whole damn life. I literally almost got expelled from school for talking. So it's like, I'm a talker. That's what it is, you know. And I'm vulnerable. I'm honest. I'm okay with, you know, admitting my faults, whatever. So it's like, I feel like having a platform where I am able to express myself, it is helpful because it's kind of like, it gives me another lane to stay true to me. I think that, like you said, the pivot in it is like, for me, it's just like, I don't know if I'm really pivoting. I feel like I'm just kind of going back and forth.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think especially nowadays, it's kind of like people, they used to say, like, you could be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? But nowadays, it's like, shit, everybody has access to so many things and so much resources that it's like, you have to be a jack of all trades. There is no masters no more because shit just be taken off in so many ways. Like, it's like, nah, you can't stay in one lane. Like, you absolutely have to do stuff. Even people who have become successful as music artists, they end up being models. They end up being actors. They end up being brand ambassadors. Like, it's the way to get to the money. You can't just stay in one lane any fucking way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that you still can do the thing that you love to do or the thing that you want to be successful in. And success looks different for different people in different lanes because, like, even for me, like, I'm a music artist, right? But at the end of the day, like, I feel like I can sing. I don't give a fuck what you could throw me a song and I'm gonna sing that bitch and I'm gonna sing it good, great, excellent. So at the end of the day, I could if I'm singing, I feel good. So I could do corporate bands, I could do a cruise, I could do whatever and feel like I'm successful because I'm doing the thing that I love and that I'm passionate about. And I'm happy with it. My bills are paid. I'm good. You know what I mean? So that's a certain level of success. Well, other people might look at it and be like, oh, you didn't make it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point because I think also people have a warped view of what success is. And it's like, you have to determine that for yourself. You cannot let those external forces determine what success is because then that'll definitely weigh down on you. Like, well, damn, I'm not at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium selling out tours every week. And it's like, well, the majority of artists are never going to do that. And if you keep trying to be Beyonce, you're going to fail every single time, whether you can just be you and you can succeed in the space you're in today. Like, what does success look like for you today with the audience that you have today, and allow it to kind of fluctuate and change and go with it and be malleable, be adaptable, and be flexible. Then you can start to feel a little bit more secure within, like, your level of success. I think so.
Yeah, I think it's all about your experiences though, right? And that's why I say like sometimes this might be ignorance. They might feel like sometimes my experience is my biggest downfall. But like it's funny because like I was watching a Steve Jobs, I think. Steve Jobs commencement speech, like back in 2005. And he was saying that you can't connect the dots moving forward. You only can connect the dots moving backwards. So basically, you gotta like trust your experiences that what you're going through right now is going to land you in a place of where you want to be. So when you said about discernment, it's so hard because it's easy to be discerning when you can look back on things and connect the dots, right? So right now, it's like you're making decisions based on how you feel in that moment. So you don't know what's true or not. You can only know if this is true or if this worked years from now or in the future, right? So I feel like it's so hard to have discernment in this space. But it's like the question that I asked myself when I seen that, or not even, like, and that's why I said a part of when I saw the video is like confirmation, because literally I sent you the note. I wrote at 6 o'clock in the morning, the day before I seen this video from Joe Budden. I said, yo, because I was watching the Diddy documentary, and we're going to get into it. And I know a lot of people had a lot of negative things to say about the documentary, but the one thing that stood out to me was, whether people agree with it or not, what are you willing to do to get what you want? Right? I feel like so many times we have so many parameters of what we're willing to do, and I'm not mad at it, right? Because people say integrity, they say some type of respect, decency, all that. I get it, right? But when I looked at it, I'm like, I see a person that was willing to do anything to get to what he wanted. He willing to sacrifice anybody to get what he wanted. And I'm like, yo, what are you willing to do to get what you want? How long are you willing to wait to get there? So when I literally wrote this down at 6 o'clock in the morning, bro. So when I seen the video, I'm like, I literally just asked myself, like, what are you willing to do, and how long are you willing to wait to do it? You know what I'm saying? So like when we talk about discernment, it's really how bad do you want it? Because honestly, I don't think I've ever seen somebody who gave it their entire all and not be successful. Right? Like I've seen people who've gotten exhausted and said, I'm a pivot. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I don't think I can honestly say I've seen somebody who went to the grave about it and didn't get what they wanted.
I think that to be successful, you got to be a little delusional.
Yeah.
I think it's you have to be a little crazy to do this
But
shit.
that's the thing that, you know what I think what people call, you know, what we sometimes see as delusion is just faith.
Yeah.
Like the reality of it is that's faith in anything, because a lot of times faith is blind. You can't see, you're not going to know what's what. You have no idea, but you have a belief, and you got to be faithful to your faith. Like if I have faith in it, I believe this wholeheartedly. Cool, I'm gonna keep going.
And you know the sad thing about it though, because sometimes that's gonna come with a cost.
For sure.
And I know we could talk about like men, and this is the one thing I don't say I give leniency for, but sometimes you gotta be okay with the decisions you make, because sometimes it might come with the cost of your family. And I'm not here to say what's right or wrong, but sometimes the cost of your decisions is the people that's closest to you, or even your livelihood. I remember like this week I looked at my daughter and I'm like, man, it's like I know that I gotta be patient. I gotta just keep going, but it's like I don't know if I'm in that season of my life where I have the luxury to do that. What are you willing to? And that's why I asked myself. I was in the bed with my daughter. I'm like, what are you willing to do to get to where you want to go? Because this can't wait on that. You had your turn. Yeah. Right. So like.
Ooh.
I've
been there.
It was crazy.
I've been there.
It was crazy.
It's so crazy you say that, because I was thinking about that just like on my own perspective, right? Like, because I've been there. I feel like, so for me I've been a mom since I've been an adult. Like I transitioned from a kid to a mom immediately, right? And I think in that moment, like becoming a mom, I already had to give up a dream. I played basketball. I thought I was going to WNBA. I'm not gonna lie. Granted, I'm short, but they also don't grow that much. Women don't get that tall. But I was supposed to play basketball, and I thought I was pregnant. And it was like, you got to make a decision. Cool. I gave up on one dream, and I was like, well, I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm going to go get my degree. I'm a this, I'm a that. And I did. But then when I was in college, that's when I discovered like my passion for performing. Like that was the first time I really had a performance. And I was like, oh my God, it was life-changing. Like I was like, oh, I'm doing this. And I've been doing it ever since. But a big part of it is like certain sacrifices. It's like making a way out of no way, finding ways to like to manipulate systems, get around, you know. And so I think about that a lot because like throughout my time, I've always felt like I could have done differently, or I could have done better, or I could have. But thankfully, you know, my child now is older, and so we have conversations. And I'm able to be like, you know, this what I'm doing, this where I'm at, and I can be honest, you know. But it is hard because it sucks because you're like, I don't ever want you to go without because I'm trying to do something that I want to do.
That's real.
And so it's like the balance in that is like finding ways to make sure that they don't go without. Maybe you go without.
Yeah.
Maybe you be asked out for a bit. But make sure that they safe and they comfy. That's always been a thing for me. But I also think that it may be somewhat of a hold up. Because I always said, like, I want this shit so bad. I wouldn't mind being I sleep out of my car. I'll be homeless and I'll go take showers at the gym. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always had that mentality. But my thing was, but I have my kid and I can't have my kid doing that.
Yeah.
So it was like, I got to figure it out. So I'm always grateful to the people who showed up for me and my kid, who support us, because it put me in a position where I was able to have opportunity to do things.
Yeah.
But it's a hard ass sacrifice. It's hard to try to figure that out on how to manage that. And
it kind of gives you a different push too, I think, because like on one end it's like I need to make sure that I'm still making sound decisions because I still am the mom at the end of the day. And I'm grateful to have the support of like my family, my parents and everything to be able to kind of have a little bit of flexibility. But at the same time, it's like I'm still a mother and like I'm not giving custody to my parents. So it's like you still have that, you have to show up and you still have to be present in that. But at the same time, it gives me a different level of motivation and push that like I just did not have before having my kid. Not saying that you need to have a kid to have that push. It's just my own personal experience. Like, no, there is no, I've never really had a plan B, to be honest. Like, and that's why you said that delusion is so real. When I tell you, I have been saying the same thing since I've been in middle school, and everybody used to think I was really a little cuckoo, like, okay, okay, girl. But it's like, no, I can't foresee myself doing anything else, and I won't. And like, I might have a job right now, but this is just in the meantime, between time, I'm just trying to pay a little bill. But I've always, even like getting out of college, I was very specific on like, I'm not going to get a job that's too good because I don't want to get too comfortable. Like, that's how crazy about it you have to be. Like, I need this flexibility more than anything because I need to make sure I can leave to be able to do this and do that. Like,
somebody told me that too, because I was like, I thought about doing like bartending and stuff. And I don't even drink, so I don't even know how to make a drink. But they was like, do not do that. They was like, not in Atlanta. They was like, what's going to happen is you're going to start bartending. The money going to be so good. You're going to get so many tips. You're going to be stuck in that life. And you're not going to want to leave because the money is going to be so good. And I was like, nah, I'm not. Because what the fuck I'm supposed to do once I'm 40, 50? Like, I got to bartend forever? Nah, you right. I ain't doing that. Like,
you know, I remember having a conversation with my therapist, and she was like, she said exactly what you just said. She was like, you don't want to get to the point where you're 60 and it's like that what if. You know what I mean? When it's like, what if I would have took a shot? What if I would have shot a bet on myself and things of that nature? And she's like, it's easier when you're in your 30s. You know what I'm saying? She's like, it's funny because we think of this concept of time, and we had that conversation yesterday where I was like, a lot of times social media has put a lot of pressure on what success is supposed to look like at this certain age because we now see it, small percentage, but we see it and we have access to that. And I would say that I like to study success. And I was looking up all these people and when they actually started their thing. Like, I think Jeff Bezos started Amazon at 30. I think Ava DuVernay didn't pick up a camera until she was like 33, 34, and things of that nature. But the biggest thing that I'm looking at as you talk about like the sacrifices that you have to make and things of that nature, and you all have kids, I don't, it's just like, from my experience as like uncle and everything in that capacity, the one thing that I've always wished is that for my siblings, like, they went full in on mama. And it's just like, they are brilliant, fashion, singers, all of that. But then as soon as they they had their child, it was just like, we're going to make sure you have the life that we didn't have. So they sacrificed that. So I always was wondering, it's just like, what if like you had that balance or something in that capacity?
I go ahead, I'm sorry.
And then on the other side of it, to be that example of, it's like a double-edged sword. And I don't know if y'all could like talk about it, right? It's just like to show your child what it looks like to chase your dreams and live as that example, but then also still be there. Like go ahead, you're about to.
Nah, man, because I hear all y'all keep saying this one word that is like, again, I'm thinking and I'm like, man, what are you willing to do? Ain't no fucking balance.
Oh,
I was
balance.
about to
Ain't
say
no
that.
balance in this.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no balance. And I think I said it before, and like, I don't say it to wish this on my life, but like, bro, I think I told you about this. I look at people like Beyonce, look at people like Michael Jackson. Bro, I'm willing to have my daughter hate me to make her life better. It is what it is. I'm willing to make that
But
sacrifice.
that's the thing, though.
Say
What you
that.
think is better, you think that that's making her life better, and it may not.
So, for example, I talked to Jess Hilarious, right? And she was saying how
The football
her
games.
her son was like saying that it hurt because like this is before she had the job on Breakfast Club and shit like that, right? So she had to do the shows. And like she was like, man, he wanted her to be at the games. And she like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go to these shows. And like that probably hurt him. And I look at it like, man, yeah, I'm willing for that to hurt you. Because I know how I feel on the other end of that.
Well, that's the thing, though, and that's the problem.
It could be a problem.
Well,
Like I know what it feel like coming out without.
But that's what I'm saying. When we say balance, right? Because the reality of it is, life is about balance. A good life is a well-balanced life. Hold on, let me finish. Because what you're saying is, I'm sacrificing this part of you as a child and as a human being to give you this part, in which I think is better because I had this, but I didn't have this, and I hated it. So what we do is we create an imbalance, kind of like we was talking about with men and women, right? I got the short end of the stick. So I want the power so that way I can be, because I think I know better.
Yeah.
When really, want too much of anything is not a good thing, and too little of anything is not a good thing. A good life is a balanced life. But I will say, like you said, with it being a double-edged sword, I think for me, I had a moment this morning and I was really frustrated, and I'm still frustrated, to be honest. And I had to figure out a balance with my own kid, and I was like, we're not gonna talk right now. He said, why? I said, 'cause I'm irritated. Give me a minute, give me some hours to process. We'll talk later. But a big part of this is like you said, teaching your kid to go all out and go in, and you know what I mean? And it's like, I do that, right? But it's, I feel like I passed that on to my kid, and it's like, as much as I want to be proud, I also want to be like, get a fucking grip. Like, you're delusional. Like, and it stresses me a bit because it's like, I feel like it's too early for you to live in delusion. Like, you ain't there yet. You ain't experienced enough for you to know, like, this is your calling. This is your, you know what I mean? And so it's like, I want to give you opportunity, but then it's also like, I want to teach you the things that you got to do to be in place so that way you can be successful.
Yeah.
And he made a comment to me, and he was just, at first, because he was like, yeah, I was thinking about it. Like, I feel like I'm running out of time. And I'm like, what, nigga? You only 15. Like, but he was talking about in regards of like going to college. And so I'm like, well, you got 2 more years. Like, you only in 10th grade. Like, and so it's like, yeah. And I know, like, as a mom, it's like, I want to be supportive, and I want to make sure that he knows, like, whatever you want to do, I'm backing you.
Yeah.
But then it gets frustrating because it's just like, you're not even doing the things that you're supposed to be doing for real to get you the way you want to go. And it's like, but he's a kid and he don't know no better. But I still want to teach him to go all the way in and go hard for your shit, because I'm doing the same thing. You see me chasing my dreams, and you see me putting my shit online, making sacrifices and taking L's, and you see that I'm still going. And I think that that's a thing where it's like, he look at me and he like, my mom's still going. Like, I fuck with it. I'm going to do that too. But then it's like, I don't want this for you. That's why I'm trying to get it, because I don't want it for you. Like, I want you to have it a little easier. I want it to make sense. But like you said the other time, like, I think we compensate so much for our kids that they don't know to work their ass off.
Yeah.
They don't know how to get it, because we always saving them, and we always coddling them or keeping them off but it's like, it's the same thing. Like, but that's why life is about, a good life is a balanced life. And I think we try to do too much of this and we don't do enough of that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, what are you willing to do, and what sacrifices are you going to have to make? We're going to have to make sacrifices in everything. And so it's something where it's like, you have to just be there in that moment to make the decision. I cannot predict the future. I don't know what I'm willing to do, to be honest, because those things haven't presented themselves. And as something presents itself to make a decision, I make that decision with all the things I have in my repertoire right then and there. I cannot foresee the things that's going to happen. And I try to just be present in all those moments. So whenever my son is with me and we're home and I don't have to do anything, I'm trying to be right there present in that moment and be very there, attentive to him. And if I'm at work, I'm very attentive to the work that I'm doing right then and there. If I'm with my friends, I try to be very present with my friends and appreciate those moments versus trying to do all things at all times. I think that that's a way to kind of really fuck you up in the head and kind of get you to where you can't dissociate from those things, and it can kind of really mess you up. So I try to like compartmentalize life, and I think that that's kind of helpful. But at the same time, it's like I know that some of the things that I'm sacrificing right now is stressful, but it's like I gotta see it through. I gotta see it through, and having that support is everything. But it's like I am willing to do a lot. I wouldn't say I'm willing to let my son hate me. I can't go that far and say that, because I want my son to have a well-rounded idea of what all I had to do. And I try to, he's only 4, so obviously conversations look different. But I try to, if he asks me a question, I try to give him the most honest answer I can, because I know that was something that my parents didn't do. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's something that they did the best they could in the time, right? In their mind, them not giving us the full answers to certain questions was protecting us. But it didn't really protect us. It kind of just created this
ignorance within us, because now we don't know.
So now it's like I'm trying to do the best that I can with the information that I have based off of like the things that my parents did and did not do, and I'm trying to adjust. And we still gonna make mistakes. We gonna still fuck it up. It's still gonna be like, damn, I probably shouldn't have did that. I probably should have did it this way. But I feel like what I can do right now is be as honest as possible. And my son is starting to pick up on what I do. Obviously not in the full severity. Like, he don't know about that, but he understands what I do for work. And I think that that's a start. And we just adjust as he gets older. And my plan is to really bring him along the journey. Like, for example, with Beyonce, that family's on that tour with her. She even said, like, I tour during the summer times because my kids are in school. Like, that's the type of sacrifices. And when you get to the level where you can pick and choose when you do things like that, that's the type of stuff that I would like to do. I do plan on having him along with me along the journey.
And it's fun. Love it. He'll love it. Jason loved it.
When he around, he's having a ball. Like,
he hated it sometimes, but
so I think that's a little cheat that you can do. Like,
so Jay, do you have a boundary when you say that? Because that then gives Diddy.
What?
Because remember you just said, like,
willing to do anything.
like, I'm willing to do anything. I'm willing to. So it's like, I feel like that's the same thing that we.
I said I'm willing to do anything.
Yeah.
Damn near. That's what I heard.
Yeah. Because you said, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to give up? And you like, I'm willing to sacrifice at this point. Like, I'm saying.
What did I say?
You just said I'm willing to do anything.
I said anything.
That's what it gave. I don't know if you said those words, but
no, I said,
are you saying
my kid, or we talking 2 different conversations?
No, I'm just saying in general, because remember you was like,
it was a question. Yeah, I'm asking, like, what are you willing to sacrifice? But when it comes to I think it's 2 different conversations. But like, yeah, I'm not saying I want my kid to hate me, right? Yeah. I'm not saying that at all. But I look at my mom; she did her best.
Yeah.
And I'm still struggling. Your best ain't enough. Like I said, I always talk about the reality of it, right?
Okay.
So you say if that happens, you're okay with it.
I would rather do my best and set my daughter up for life.
Right.
Look at Beyonce. We call the internet Beyonce's internet, for God's sake. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson, yeah, he held it. We hated this. He hated his father and all that. But it's Michael Jackson, one of the greatest to ever bless this earth, right? So shit, I look at it like that. Again, I don't want my daughter to hate me, but I'm saying I would rather die and know that I did everything and my daughter came out successful and she ain't had to struggle and she has a blessed life than to do everything. And
but is success the only thing that matters in that? Because what if you Yes? So what about the people who are successful and they're depressed and they kill themselves?
I mean,
people who are unhappy in life.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to be insensitive, but what I'm trying to say is I get what you're saying, right? I think a lot of that is a person thing. Because like if you could be depressed and wanna, I think I just had somebody that was close that
Oh, I thought you had a conversation.
No, I think it was like somebody that close that just want to be careful with my words because I want to be sensitive about so I think a lot of that is a personal thing because you could be poor and want to do things to yourself. You could be rich and want to do things to yourself. That's a personal thing, in my opinion.
It is, but what I'm saying to you is there are things that you perpetuate within that in that area, right? Because what we're talking about is you saying, I don't care if my child hates me, but I want to go. Wait.
I don't want my. No, I want you to hear what I'm saying. I don't want my child. It's not that I don't care. No, I'm saying that if I had to choose, I would rather set my child up to hate me because I was so disciplined. I was so hard. I made sure that she was in a position that she can have a healthy life for herself.
I understand that. So, like you just used like Michael Jackson for an example, right? And when you look at Michael Jackson's story, it's like, okay, like you just said, he hated his father, but he's Michael Jackson. Who cares?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson cared.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson then tarnished his reputation because of his relationship with his father and him missing out on his childhood and things of that, right? So now Michael Jackson's Michael Jackson, but then you have speculation around
At what cost though?
Yeah. Speculation around who he is as a person and he rapes little boys and this and that. When really he was just missing certain things from his parents, from his father, right? Then you have it where he also then now is using drugs. And now he passes early on. Michael Jackson should still be alive to this day. So what I'm saying is, you could be Joe Jackson all you want, and your baby could be Michael Jackson. But then, is that what you would want for your child? Is what I'm saying.
No, that's not what I want for my child.
Not that I'm saying that's what you want. That's why I'm saying that like a good life is a balanced life. We can look at Michael Jackson and think that he had a great life, but the reality of it is, he struggled, and it was hard for him.
Well, that's why I said a lot of that is a personal thing. Like, because
we all personal.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but at the same time, there are things that contribute to that. Things are not, nothing is random or isolated or in a vacuum. There are so many things that contribute to the way in which you live, the way you process things, your mental stability. While, yes, there are some mental issues that are honestly random, right? It's just it's a medical phenomenon, cool. But there are some things that happen because of all the external and internal pressures going on. And as a parent, and I can say this from my own personal experience as a parent, you absolutely can affect your child's mental stability. There's traumas that can happen with the parent to child relationship that some parents just are not privy to. And those are going to be really hard conversations when you're an adult, because that's when children sometimes even recognize. Sometimes you don't even know what the hell happened, and you can't even process that until you're an adult. And it's like, damn, like, while I recognize my parents were doing the best that they could, these things were also happening, and these things negatively affected me in this way, and I'm processing it and I'm trying to get through it, but at the end of the day, it still happened. And so how do you as a parent reconcile that when sometimes it's kind of too late? Well, it already affected them. So it's like, it's something that we just need to be cognizant of in the, like, as we go. Yes, chase your dreams. Yes, make sure your kids have all the things that they need, that they're prepared for the world, but at the same time, be attentive to those things that are not tangible. Like, be attentive to those feelings, be attentive to the relationship that you're building, the external forces that can happen to your kid. Those things are what sometimes get lost in the shuffle because parents are only worried about the things that they can see. Are you fed? You got clothes? You going to school? Those aren't the only things that matter, and they're never going to be the only. Those are sometimes not even the most important things to kids.
Those are just the basic
Those
needs.
are just the basic needs, and you're supposed to be doing that in the first place, right? Knowing all those other things that's going on with your kids is the stuff that people tend to forget because they're only focused about, the money that's coming in. And I think that that's why kids kind of get the short end of the stick a lot of times, because it's like, well, you fed. I don't know what you complaining about. I don't know what's the matter.
I was just watching. You ever seen Fences?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not saying that no woman should have to struggle to like get the love like the moms in Fences. But the one thing that I commended the moms for was, no matter how quote unquote bad Denzel showed up, she allowed him to be a father. And I was watching this with somebody, I'm like, yo, like, I know there's a lot of things that she don't agree with about how he handles this situation with his son. But the one thing that I thought that stood out to me is what she never really challenged him in front of his son, or even in general, like when it came to his manhood. And I think like when I'm listening to y'all, like it reminds me of that, because when I was like, I think that was one of the things that like I struggled with in my last relationship. And I feel like a lot of us struggle with that, like just accepting the roles that we play. like, I'm gonna instill discipline in my child. You might not like that, but that might not be your role. And if you want to be soft and coddle my child, I might not like that, but that might not be my role. But I say that to say it's both needed, right? So like, I don't think you're saying nothing wrong, but I also don't think I'm saying nothing wrong.
So you feel like the other side is for her mother?
Yeah, you feel me? So like when I listen to it, I'm like, I think that's super
So then
important.
that's where the balance comes
Yeah,
in.
right. I
Not
think
with you specifically, but just all around.
Yeah, because I think it's super important. But it's my duty to go out and provide for my child. It's my duty to instill some type of discipline. It's my duty to set my child up for, like, it's my duty to be able to pay for her wedding. It's my duty to be able to do these things, right? That's what I'm here for. Outside of telling somebody else about God, that's what I'm here for. The moment she came into this life, right? So it's like, again, I'm not saying that I want my child to hate me. I'm just saying I'm willing to get out here and do what I have to do to put her in the best position to her life, right? And granted, again, I'm gonna have comments. I'm not saying that I'm a dismiss. I'm not saying that at all, right? I'm just saying in the moments that I do forget, hopefully her mother is there to make sure she can coddle her feelings. She can say, "Hey, take a break.
Yeah.
And that
Be easy
I
on
love
yourself."
that. But
You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
that's why it's also so important for parents to be able to. Sometimes for me, it's just like staying together, because the reality of it is like to have that constantly in the household at this, like that helps. But
For
when you
sure.
separate and you doing two different households, a lot of times mom is working just
can
as
be
much as dad is
conflicting.
working.
Yeah.
And it's like now there isn't nobody. That's why I love the idea of the stay at home mom for the realness of it, not because I don't like the fact that it's like the controlling part of it, right? I hate that, because it's like there should be kindness and love within it. It shouldn't be like, oh, I make the money, so I make all this, I run things. I feel like for stay-at-home moms, I feel like the value is always being available for your kids, somebody. Because like you said, as a man, this is my duty to take care of my kid. I'm going to discipline my kid, I'm going to provide for my kid. I'm going to make sure that they don't go without. And so it's like the balance, they need that balance. You need somebody that's always there to have you, support you, whatever. And I feel like when you separate, a lot of times you lose that. And it sucks, because then it's like, but that's why I say, like, where does the balance? Now you both have to have the balance to be honest. Because the days that I'm with you, I'm not getting the things that I need.
Yeah.
The days that I'm with her, I'm not getting what I need. And I feel like I experienced that growing up. Even, at first when my parents were married, and I felt like my dad gave me the emotional, like my dad was very much well-rounded. Like everything, I felt like growing up I had the greatest dad ever. And my mom, she worked, especially when they split, it was like she was always working. But my mom worked because she wanted her independence, really. She was like, I'm never going to depend on a man. But it's like, but in that, my mom also just wasn't really present for me as a kid. Like, I felt like, I can't remember, like, really any, like, real conversations I've had with my mom as a kid. I can't remember, my mom ever coming to, like, my basketball games. Like, I can't remember my mom in a lot of momentous, like, moments of my life. And it's just like, so now that I'm grown, it's like, I feel like me and my mom are close now because I had my son. My mom, when I was pregnant, of course, my mom hated it. She was first person, you get an abortion. Like, I don't care. My mother drove to my college and was like, let's go. Like, she was adamant. But when we found out that I was having a boy, my mom only had daughters. And she was just like, a boy? I've never raised a boy. Like, and I'm like, bitch, you're not raising a boy. This ain't your motherfucking son.
And you still not.
But she decided to be supportive when she found out it was a boy. And maybe it was because we girls, and it's moms and their girls. I don't know. But my mom and I grew closer as I was an adult. And she supported me more with my son. But we've had clashings, and it's always been a struggle. And she don't understand, because she think, I did my best. As your mom, I did my part, but a part of it is like, girl, we never had that relationship, so I don't know why you think, like,
It's funny. I heard you say, like, creating broken homes. And I think that does, like, hinder, but I don't think I think we complicate it. Because I think having blended families and quote-unquote broken homes could be better. Right, but what happened is I think we get so caught up in, like, this self-preservation of ourselves and what we not going to do, and it becomes about everything but the child. Like, I'll never forget when when we was making decisions like financial decisions, and I thought some of the bills were split unevenly, right? Like after our breakup, and I was like, it's not fair. We supposed to be doing this even down the middle. And I never forget having a conversation. This is why it's so important to have the right community around you. And I never forget talking to some men about the situation, and they was like, oh, I don't know, it was a woman. I know somebody said something about if it being even affects your child, then it ain't worth it. Because if the other party has to, let's say, work more or do something that brings added stress to her life to be able to support your child, then you still lose in the end. So what is it worth it being even, whatever the case may be? And if you can do more, why not, for the sake of like putting away your ego, if that makes sense. So I think like even in that, because I got caught up in the law of it. It's supposed to be this way, right? When we need to like exit ourselves personally, how we feel about it, and make it about the child. But also what makes this thing hard, because I don't want it to just be one-sided, is it's the same thing we talk about love, right? Love is, I would lay my life down on the line for you. But love is also, you know that I would do that and you would never put me in a position to have to do that, right? So it's both sides. It's not just one side, because I have to be able to be willing to be like, you know what? Even though we're not together, this is still a relationship. So you know how they say, I think Michelle Obama, like it's not always 50-50. Sometimes I give 75, you 25, sometimes I'm giving 60, you 40. But guess what? It's the same way when you break up, or should be, right? So I gotta still treat this like a relationship. So in the moments you can't show up, I'ma show up for the sake of my child, because I know that if I don't, then that affects my child indirectly through me, right? But what happens is, if I don't have the same, if you don't have the same integrity on the other end, now I feel used, because now I'm trusting you to be able to be like, you know what, I can do this, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take it off your plate because I seen you been doing this, or I'm able to do more, so I'm gonna do more. What happened is we're in a world where like we're like bred on survival, so we're going to survive, finesse any way possible. So so unintentionally we start treating each other like that. It's like, okay, well I can, but I'm not, because I know he could do it, and it shouldn't be like that. And I think that's where we go wrong. The moment we really can, like, and that's what all I talk about, like, fuck the divisiveness. It's all that matters is like, if we could just come to one accord, men and women, and just be like, you know what, I can, so I will, or I can, so you don't have to. Like, we always.
But that's one, like you said, that's ego, right? But then also a part of it is, that's a part of the broken home syndrome, though, like, because we are human. And with us being human, we have feelings and emotions. So those feelings and emotions are always going to play a role in that. If we were together, that wouldn't be a thing, because now we are a unit. Even separate, like you're saying, separately, we're a family still. We still have to be a unit and move as such. But it's harder to do that when we're in two different households and we have two different ways of thinking, two different ways of living. Now, if we live in one way as a unit, then that's different, and it's easier to do that. But even like outside of that, right? Outside of the ego, outside of all of that, I love the idea of a blended family, because you have balance in both households. I think that's the for me, that's the difference that I'm looking at. When it's not a blended family, it's just separate. You don't have the balance in both. You have one over here and you have one over here, and they're different. So it's like, I go here, I get this. I go here, I get this. But if I don't go both places and get both, there's still an imbalance. Or I think of things like, even if you look at it like 100%, right? And I'm supposed to get 50% here, 50% here, 25 on this, 25 on that, 25 on this, 25 on that. If this person I get 25 here and I get 50 over here, I'm still missing the 25. You get what I'm saying? It still creates where I'm like, did that confuse you a bit? Oh, okay. It still creates, his eyes. It still creates a bit of an imbalance. Yeah. And so I think, for me, it's not really like, I'm not saying like, oh, broken homes are so bad, but I think like this is where, because even we think about the fundamental breakdown of the finances. Like you said, it's my job to get out here and provide for my kid. I got to do that. I got to do that. So then you might miss out on the emotional support, right? But then the mom has to give that emotional support to make sure that they got their balance. But if I'm giving all of this emotionally and supporting and I'm showing up for my kid, I'm struggling with the finances part. So now you get one over here and one over here, but so that's why I'm saying, like, it's not even a thing of like if we took out the egos and we just looked at the fundamentals of it all, it just works better as a unit.
And that's the thing. that might not be fair, but it's just the cards that we dealt ourselves, and people might not like niggas might not want to hear us. I don't give a fuck. And that's why it'd be so hard for me because like it's still a part of me. It feels like I am still responsible for my child's mom because how her life treats her.
She would treat your child.
It affects how she treats my child. So when she needs help, it's my job to step up. But again, it's hard to do that when so much emotions are invested, right? And I understand that, but we got to be willing to put that emotion to the side to be able to show up for that person for the sake of our kid. But the most important thing about it is the other person can abuse it.
Yeah.
Right. And but as a person, as a good person, you never know when they are or when they aren't.
But
right. So that's why you got to choose the person that you have kids with.
Yeah.
Like carefully. But I mean, that's another story for another time. But it's like, I think that's what I think the hardest part is because I should, as a man, you should stand up on your 2 feet, be like, you know what? I am still responsible for my child's mom. Yeah. Right. But that woman has to also say like, yo, I do respect this, and I'm not gonna abuse and manipulate this.
Well, so that's the thing though. When you say I am responsible for my child's mom, right? I think that are you saying in the same capacity that you are if y'all were together? Because the reality of it is, that's why I said the fundamental breakdown of it, emotions removed, egos aside, it's hard. You can't manage. Most people can't manage 2 households. Shit, you can barely manage your own. So if it's like, all right, I am responsible for this person, the reality of it is, yeah, you should be paying them damn bills. Like a lot of people think like when we think of like child support, right? That is just like, oh, everything is split, whatever. No, the reality of it is, if your child is over this house needs to be paid for. And that includes the electricity that's being used, the water that's on, the gas, the transportation to and from. All of that is included in making sure your kid is maintaining a lifestyle, livelihood, all the things. So when you think about that, and it's like, when you say, that's why I said ego aside, pride aside, the using aside, right? The reality of it is, like you say, if I sit here and say the same way that they were in my house, I was in charge of or I'm responsible for, if they move out because whatever our issue is, we couldn't get past it, you still responsible. But that's hard to maintain 2 households.
So, so when it comes to that, I think all right, so I got a like opinion on that. I do believe it's kind of like how I look at prenups. I think contracts should be in place. So like if it's irreconcilable differences, you definitely should be able to take care of your own outside. Right now, in a sense that you can't take care of your own, give me my child. Right? Like that's how I look at it. Now, if I did something that directly affected like our relationship, like cheating, right? And you have to move out. I do think it should be like a time period of me taking care of that for you to get on your feet, right? I'm just saying, in a perfect world, my man probably can't even do that. I can't do that. But but I'm just saying, like in a perfect world, you should be responsible for that because you did like
not even a time frame because this is a lifelong commitment.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, come on now. But
well, then don't cheat. Man. But then don't cheat.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, come on. But I say that to say.
Until you move on.
Yeah.
I
say that to say, like, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, if we just split up and you decide to move or whatever the case may be, you are an adult. So you got to be responsible for your own life. Now, do I own some type of responsibility because I care for you? Yeah, you're the mother of my child, and I want my child to, like, even that can be, like, well, that's unselfish. That's not selfish, but I do want my child to have a relationship with their mother. So, yeah, I own some type of, like, I'm not responsible for you, but I have some onus of, like, if your livelihood, right? Yeah. A good person, in my opinion, right? But I'm not responsible for your bills. I'm not responsible for that. But I do think that is ways that, like, I mean, you know, I'm a man, and I think, like, once another man comes into the picture, it's hard to, like, have control over another man's household because, like, I mean, if it's a man, he ain't going nobody over, you know what I'm saying? But it's things that I've asked, like, women I date because I need to know if you're okay with this. Because, like, if it all changed today, like, I low-key want a quartersack in my family like that. Like, I don't need to know what you got going on. I don't care. Like, I genuinely can say, I don't care. Like, I want you to date. I want you to be happy. I just want to make sure my kid is good. You know what I'm saying? Whether a man is in there or not, like I just want to be able to make sure my home is good because that's still a part of my home. And making sure my home is good is low key making sure you good too. And I don't want that responsibility, but guess what? I gotta play the hands that I dealt myself. That's my responsibility. I had a child with you. I had some responsibility in this is breaking up. So that's my ownership. You get what I'm trying to say? And I'm not, because I don't want niggas think I'm simping or nothing like that. It's like, no, I'm not saying I gotta take care of all of it, but that's my house. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my family, and that's why this love shit hurts so bad. In my perspective, it's hard to move on because, like, again, I said it before, the hardest part about moving on is the thin line between love and hate. The fact that I can see, the fact that I see somebody that I love so much and I still say, like, that was my friend. The fact that it can be hate so quickly, right? Like, not quickly, but, like, you know, the fact there's a thin line between love and hate. The fact that I can look at somebody and say nasty things to. I can look at somebody and hear nasty words come to me. I can look at somebody who look at me so bad and just know that not too long ago we said we loved each other. That's what makes me not want to move on. I'm not gonna lie, it ain't nothing else. It's only that because I know that it's possible. The fact that shouldn't, in my mind, I know it's life ain't fair, but the fact that can even happen makes me not want to move on. And I know that's hurt. You got to heal through that. But that's the scariest part about love is the fact that it can flip the hate.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through that shit again. Like I know people say, like, people be like, man, you got to get over it. And I'm like, man, how? You got somebody that you say, yo, I would give my life to, that I want to share life with, and it ain't work out for whatever reason it is, right? My fault, your fault, whatever. It ain't work out. And the fact that you can be like, I hate you, you this, you that. And I look at it like, bro, I said I would do anything for you. I was giving my life to you. And it can be this. Move on. Huh? For that to happen again?
Yeah.
You can miss me with that shit. Not saying that I won't move on, because I am going to move on. But it's just like, man, that's niggas be like, people be asking me like, you miss your ex-wife and shit like that? I'm like, nigga, hell yeah. Do I want us to like be together? No, it could never coexist. And I almost wish that we never got into it so I can experience that with you, because now it's too late. We got that experience. But do I miss it? You will be out your rabbit ass mind and say I wouldn't. Why would I get in it? Like, this ain't no fucking game. This ain't The Sims. I got in it because I cared. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So like, I don't think people can understand both sides of it. Just because you miss something don't mean you gotta like want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, hell no. Like, I would never go, because that, I don't want that for myself. Nigga, I don't like who I was in that relation. Nigga, I would never go back to being that person. And I know that was a part of it. This don't got nothing to do with her. You know what I'm trying to say? So like, I think I wish people could be more real with their emotions. Like, nigga, do I miss? Hell yeah, nigga. I had somebody that had my back. I had somebody that saw the lowest of the lows. Yeah. You know how hard it is to have to trust somebody else through that?
Yeah. Like missing the situation, but not necessarily missing the person.
Yeah, like, man.
Or missing the person, but not the situation.
Yeah,
I don't miss either.
Nigga, you know, man. I think people like, man.
Was you married?
No.
Oh.
Nigga, but I was in a long-term relationship.
When you in a good, when it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
There's no way you can, like, and a lot of people be like downplaying that. I hate that, bro. Like, don't downplay what you had.
I don't think I downplay what I had. I think it's just more so hindsight is 20/20. And when
sure.
I look back, it's like, well, what was, girl, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
that
sister,
really wasn't that
you know what I'm saying,
good.
girl? You was really, you had low standards.
The difference between knowing and feeling. It
Exactly.
felt good,
like,
but
girl,
it wasn't good.
It wasn't even all that. Like, you was just deprived, bitch. Like, get over it. So I think it's just more so that, like, you grow and you mature, and then you think about, like, the age. Like, when I was in that relationship, I think I got in that relationship when I just turned 21. I was very young. That was really my first real relationship. Before that, I was just talking to boys here and there. So everything always seems really cool. It's like, wow, I'm in a relationship finally. But it's like, girl, what really did you get out of that? I didn't get anything out of it other than the I love yous and things like that. And so as you grow and you mature and you experience how detrimental relationships can be, and when you're out of it, and then it's like, you wipe your eyes and you start to have a more clear view, and then you start to really, really understand what the fuck you was experiencing. That is kind of more traumatizing than being in a relationship. The post clarity, oh my God, it will fuck you up in the head. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I experienced all these things, and now I have to have this whole other experience of healing from this so that I can move on and I can be different and I can be better and I can make better decisions so that I don't end up in something like that again. So yeah, that's why I say I don't miss
love
shit
getting
about
rose
that.
colored glasses.
I know people
don't
be like, man, I would never change nothing. I say this, man, fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna keep it real, like, cause like sometimes you gotta go through something to get to something.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand, like, even when I look at my old relationship, like, man, I wasn't the best, but I was growing too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some things is no excuse for, but the same vice versa. But it's like, man, I wish I could have just met the right person for me because I gave a lot of love. If I was wrong
want
or
that
not,
shit back.
No, for real, no, cat, like,
I want that
it's like,
shit back.
bro,
Don't get me started.
like, no, like wrong or not,
Yeah.
I gave a lot of love, mistakes or not, nigga, we make mistakes with ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
it's like, bro, imagine you get that love to somebody who really,
Then it could be-
you get what I'm saying? Like, who really
Yeah.
understands and really can be patient with you, who really can
Trying to
give you
tell you.
love. Like, we talk about love, right?
Yeah.
Corinthians what? 1:13? Bro, like, we talk about the real love. We talk about that love from the Bible, from God. So it's like, man, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, man, and I'm not trying to excuse nothing I did or she did at the end of the day, but it's like, man, that love was real. That love was real, and like, no matter how you look at it, how I look at it, that shit was real. So the fact that I'm just like, imagine it make it hard to move on. I wish I could have just got it right the first time, nigga.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Like,
Yeah, you
nigga,
feel like you wasted all of that. Do you feel like that?
I don't want to say wasted. That, bro, our
do you think you
experiences
could do it
matter.
again?
Yeah, hell yeah,
Okay.
for sure. It's just our experiences matter.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that's an experience that I can't get back. It's like
Yeah.
once you take somebody's innocence.
Yeah.
Right. Like once you lose your virginity, you can't
It's
go back.
different.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
I
So
feel
like,
like I wasted.
Yeah, nah, I
think
can't.
that too, but I also think in a sense that's like I learned so much, and I don't think I would have been able to learn without that. If I could take it all back, would I? Not necessarily. I have my son because of it, so it's that kind of weird like frame of thinking. It's like I don't know, but I know how bad it was, and I know how much it damaged me. But at the same time, now present day at 29 versus 20 and 21, it's like I am so brand new in a different way that like I wouldn't have been able to get to this point without all of that. But then at the same time, it's like, well, maybe you could have. I don't know if you necessarily needed all of that, but
think,
I don't
it's
know.
funny, it's funny, like, even like we think about the dichotomy of like women and men, like we even like sex, women receive, men give, right? It's like my goals. Like I said, I don't think I wasted it because I can honestly look at myself in the mirror and say I gave it all.
Yeah.
I can walk with my head high through the mistakes and
Yeah.
all, through the flaws. I wasn't perfect. I fucked up, but I can walk with my head high and say through all the mistakes, I gave it everything. But the sad thing about that is the woman is on the other end that has to receive a lot of these things. So it's easy for me to say I gave it my all through the flaws and all when you were the
Receiving on
recipient
receiving end
of
the flaws and
the
all.
flaws. You get what I'm trying to say? So I can understand that. But when you ask me as a man, I know that it was nothing that I ever did on some intent. Like I know for a fact that I stood tall with my chest out and I showed up. And I know that when it's all said and done, even if I don't get that validation from her, I can say I was good. When it's been some times where, like, I done had relationships where I'd be like, yeah, man, you know,
you weren't really giving me.
yeah, but with this one, I can say no. I can. You know they say we don't need validation. Sometimes I be wanting validation. This is one space in my life I could be like, one space in my life where I can be like, I don't need it. Like I don't need it because I know what's up with me. I can genuinely, and I could be delusional. She probably look at it like this nigga is, but me in my heart, I can be like, man.
I feel the same way. It's like can't nobody tell me.
So that's why I don't feel like I wasted. I feel good. I feel like.
But I think that's I feel like that's the opposite for me. It's not the flaws and alls part of it. I think for me it's kind of like I know I gave my all. I went above and beyond, right? And it's like when you go above and beyond and you give everything you got, kind of like how you saying like with the dreams, right? I never seen nobody go all the way and not be successful. And so for me it's like I went all the way and I wasn't successful.
Yeah.
That's devastating. So for me it's like I literally had to pick myself the fuck up from how much I gave.
But I think another thing is crazy. I know, Alex, you could leave whenever. The crazy thing about it, I think what helped me I don't think I ever said this to her or even said it in public. Like, God was so good because, like, she used to say things, and I used to be in denial. I was like, man, you're not happy, you're not happy, you're not happy. And she's like, nigga, why don't you leave? Because you clearly aren't happy, right? And I think as a man, I got so caught up in, like, achieving a goal, right? The goal of making this work, because that's my job as a man, to figure it out, to problem solve and make this work, right? But we're not taught as men to have our boundaries and walk away when we aren't happy. We aren't taught that. We're taught to endure the pain and see it through no matter
that
what.
you get to the other side.
Right? So I thank God that she had the strength enough to leave, because if she would have never left, I probably wouldn't have left. And I know for a fact that I was dealing with a lot of hurt. I know for a fact that I was dealing with a lot of resentment. And we talk about like these key words, or I forgot these new words, so to say, right? These buzzer. Yeah, we talk about these buzzer words, but it be buzzer words for a reason, because it's real, right? So we talk about words like projection, right? Like, and I was projecting a lot because I was hurt. I was resentful, and I wanted to feel validated in my resentment and my hurt for it to be you, when I could have just stood on my toes and be like, you know what? No, I am hurt. It's like no is your superpower, but we're taught that the moment you say no, you're not a good person. Now it's the same with your boundaries. Your boundaries are your superpower. The moment you can stand up and say no, I'm not taking this. That's the moment you really say you grew to be a better person, right? Not holding on to it and hurting somebody else through the way. And I think I thank God that whatever the last situation was, to make her walk away, that she did, because she kind of gave me another spark. She gave me my power back. And like, it never should be like that. And that's why encouragement all the time, like, man, yo, you gotta love yourself. And loving yourself means walking away, bro. Yeah. Loving yourself means looking in the mirror and being real with yourself and your emotions, because if you can do that, you can do anything in this world. My bad, Alex. I ain't mean to be on my soapbox, but that shit was real, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. Man, that was some dark times, bro. Like, I was a person that I'm never gonna be ever again, ever. Yeah. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm never gonna be that person.
Them low times really show you, like, damn, I did that, I allowed that, I experienced that. Like, you almost can't recognize yourself. Like, when I think back to that dark period, I'll be like, I don't know who that lady is. Yeah. I don't want to know.
I think that's why I feel like it's wasted, because for me, it wasn't a dark period.
See, I needed
now, granted, there are things that I look back on and I'm like, okay, no, he was dead ass wrong. But they're like minor things, and maybe they're not minor. They're minor to me. Yeah. But to the other side of the world, I understand how other people can look at it. Because when I've said certain things, people be like, "What the fuck you?" And I'll be like, "That didn't matter to me." I realized that there are things in life that like goes on, and I'll be like, "I don't care," or it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and I feel sorry, man, because damn, the next one we're gonna have it good.
Hey, whenever it get to that,
because I'm not, because it's not about what the other person did. It's what I did and what I learned from. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I'm not playing about. I know what the fuck.
I ain't going back. I'm not going back to that person. That's
supposed to be. You supposed to be better on the other side of it. Yeah. And some people never get out of that. Some people get
be
stuck.
Worse. They get worse. They be like, you know what? I did that. Now I'm gonna be ain't shit.
And it's like, that's not. That's
or you penalize the next person for what the last person did.
And they did that, right?
And I try to be very cognizant of that. And it's like, I feel like I've done a really good job of that, not punishing the next people and being able to give everybody a fair slate. Like, even with friendship, with relationships, with anything, it's like, just because I experienced this one bad thing with this person, it doesn't mean I'm going to just be like, well, fuck niggas, I'm never going to trust. It's like, no, like, you're quite literally not that nigga. Like, now, does it give me a new perspective of like clarity and discernment? Well, yes. You can't really, it's hard to play me just because I done been around the block now, but it's not like I'm gonna put you in that same predicament to be like, oh, well, because this one man did this one thing to me, I see you all this nothing. I'm gonna, it's like, no, like, I can, allow you to be ain't shit as well. I'll give you
the chance.
I'll give you the chance
instead
to show
of
me.
calling you ain't shit, I'm just going to let you do it. Be ain't shit.
we done with that 1% better conversation. Where you at, Alex?
I mean, just one thing that you were talking about earlier that I thought of was like, when you're like, men and women, we need to be okay with walking away and letting go of love. And I think that it's kind of like a scarcity mindset in a sense, right? We hear that often applied to finances and everything in that capacity. But I remember when I was reading Think and Grow Rich, there was a chapter about love, right? And I'm paraphrasing, so I don't want to say it wrong, but essentially it was like you have to be able to understand that you can let go of love and it will find you again. And I think a lot of times when we look at our own lives, it's just like, even in the bad or something in that capacity, two things, right? One, we mistake infatuation with love sometimes. But then the other side of it is
or
just
codependency too.
Right. Or trauma bond. There's a lot of things that we may mistake for love, right? But then on the other side, it's just like, okay, if I let this go, or I walk away from a quote unquote good thing, even though there may be flaws, even though we're not equally yoked, even though there's all these wrongs that are attached to it, then what is the possibility of me finding it again? And I think that has a deeper meaning to it, though, because I think sometimes some people truly don't feel like they're worthy of that love. And I feel like part of it, the ability to let it go is because you feel like, okay, what I have was luck. I got lucky. Because maybe I don't see myself as somebody that is deserving of that love. And it's just, it's scary because, like you said, you have to go through it to recognize. Like, for the next person, I'm going to bless them and everything in that capacity. They're going to get the best version of me. But I think a lot of times we find ourselves in that place. we find ourselves in this place where people are afraid to let go of that love and walk away. They're afraid to experience something new because it's just like, what if I make that mistake?
But guess what, though, bro?
It's life.
It's not even that, though. Like, a lot of us wasn't even taught how to.
Exactly.
We don't know how. We don't even know what it looked like to have. Like, think about. And I can't speak for the world, right? I can only speak for me and like what I went through in my bubble. Like, a nigga was raised on survival. You get what I'm saying? Like, a nigga was raised on by any means necessary. Can you really get love out of that? You get what I'm trying to say? So it's like when we talking about what it looked like to love yourself, nigga.
I'm just trying to survive.
With all due respect, why you think obesity is one of the highest cases of death? Not even that. It's like, no, because no, I say that like
came out of nowhere.
No, I say all of that because like not even it's like so many things because we aren't taught how to we aren't taught to be in a position, or not even taught. We aren't even able, not even taught, forget taught. We aren't able to be in a position to protect ourselves. We aren't able to be in a position to eat healthy. We aren't able to be, like, we have to survive. So how can I love? All of it matters, right? We talk about
socioeconomic and all that stuff.
We talk about all of it matters, bro.
It does.
When we talking about systemic race, like all of that matters. How can I show up for me the best? How can I show up for me the best way when I don't even know how? Right? Because I was gonna say the best way. All I know is to show up for me the best way I know how, and the best way I know how isn't always the most healthiest. You get what I'm saying? So all of it matters. So like, how can I show up for myself in this moment when I wasn't even taught?
I just said that because I feel like that is a vast difference from where you started. I love it.
What you mean?
Just like how you just said, it's all inclusive, right? Like all of it affects us, right? I remember at one point in time it was that shit don't affect us. We need to just fucking get to it. Put your head down. And
Oh
get
no.
to work. But
I said.
But that's why I be trying to point out.
understand.
Sometimes you be contradicting
No,
yourself
I'm
a little
not.
bit. So
Let's not get it. Let's not get. Yeah, let's not.
Like I said, those external factors.
Yeah, I'm saying let's not get my understanding of it confused with the reality of it.
No,
Because I still believe.
I think that you and I feel like this is where I get a little irritated with you because I feel like a lot of times you use things to your benefit.
As I should. As we all should.
Right, but then when it's somebody else, you're like, it doesn't apply there. Because the reality is, like you just said, all of that is all inclusive. To be honest, it affects every aspect of our lives.
It does.
So for you, because you were raised on survival, because you don't know how to love, or you didn't know how to love, and all those things, you're like, come on, bro. Well, how can I? How can I? You want grace.
No, I never said that.
You always tell you the king of grace.
No. In this moment, I'm saying.
I'm not saying in this moment you ask for grace, but what I'm saying is when Alex just made his point, you were like, but come on, bro, because how can I? And you're basically giving understanding to say like, well, understand where it comes
It's
from.
like all of a
because
sudden the
so my
nuance
thing,
matters.
yeah.
No,
and
it
it's like,
always matters, nigga. I'm
it
the
does
king of
always
nuance.
matter. But no,
Like I'm the king.
but
Like,
that's what I'm
king.
saying. In certain
I'm the
aspects of
king of
life,
the gray area. Like
you don't-
literally.
No, but in certain aspects of life, you don't give grace in that regard, and you haven't allowed it to matter.
Because I'm just okay, cool.
So now you pick and choose. When
I
grace-
don't.
and
I
that's
just
what
said
I'm
like I
saying.
don't. You just don't understand me, and it's okay. I'm just like it's okay.
my
I'm being
God.
real, like because
right.
all of that matters, right? All of that, yeah, I understand it. But what does it matter to?
I can't wait for the next conversation.
No, I'm
'cause
saying.
I already know how.
No,
you
I'm saying,
go.
what does it matter to the person that was on the end of it, right? Like I said,
Right.
I can say, I'm the king of nuance. I said, I can look in the mirror because I know I gave it my all. But at the same time, I said, but what does that matter to the person who was the recipient of my flaws? I literally said that. So
Okay.
I'm saying it doesn't matter. Like it don't matter what you gotta go get it.
I guess
Or
I
what
just don't
I'm not gonna
understand.
get paid for my fucking my sob stories. Yeah, I'm saying I can understand it, right? I still at the end the reality, like I
You're
said
saying not
before,
use it as a crutch.
the reality is the reality. Okay, oh fucking well. So I might speak like that because I'm a man.
So that's my thing though, but then it would be dismissive because if in this moment you're like, but I wasn't taught to love and okay, so fucking what? Oh well, you don't deserve love now.
Nuance, gray
Okay,
area.
that's
what
fine.
nuance
So
is,
I'm
right?
just-
Like nigga, I
just
can
saying.
understand it still. No,
You can. I'm just-
explain if I'm wrong.
No, you can, and that's valid. But
I'm
what
saying,
I'm
ain't that
saying,
I'm just
nuance?
confused.
No.
I'm trying to understand what's going on here. So like,
so basically, I'm just saying that.
She's trying to catch me in a contradiction.
No, I'm
Okay.
not trying to catch you in a contradiction. I heard the contradiction. I'm just trying to bring it to light so that way you can understand how you contradict yourself.
I don't think it's a contradiction. I think it all two things can be true. I don't
Two
think
things
it's
can be true.
nuance.
The point.
What's
but-
the
This
what's the
nigga's
definition?
annoying.
It's nuance.
We were talking
Is it-
about this yesterday.
Isn't that nuance?
Now he got a new buzzword.
No.
He
Two
gonna
things can be
buzz
true.
the fuck out of
Jamila, that's nuance? That's nuance. I can have a conversation and still think I can understand and can meet somebody and have the
look up-
Which
I'm
also
gonna
means, but
look
you
up the
can
definition.
you can still contradict yourself too, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm about to say it's okay that you.
I don't think it's a contradiction because I stand
to be
I stand in
honest.
solidarity for both. Like I understand, but I don't give a damn.
How the fuck you stand in solidarity?
I don't
with
give
both?
a damn. I
White
understand,
power,
but I
black
don't
power.
because I
No.
can't. I'm a man. I'm a black man. I can't.
Who cares?
But no, for sure. Bro, if I got stopped by the police,
Yes.
can I understand that they can do? I understand they can do what the fuck they want. They got the badge, so I might have to shut the fuck up. Is it okay? No. But guess what? In this moment, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Do that not mean that I can't reflect and be like, man, this is a corrupt system? But I know that if I try to fight that in that situation right then and there, it probably won't end well for me. Nuance. That's the name
No,
of the
I'm just
episode.
saying that
Like-
when we look for understanding in certain situations and we're like, you got to understand where I'm coming from. At the end of the day, it's like we minimize certain things in other capacities, and I'm just saying that that's not a fair take.
Okay, well, that's not it's never
Your
my
intention.
intention to
Yeah.
minimize if I come off a little abrasive sometimes.
Which is why I'm trying to explain it to you because I know that's not your intention.
Yeah.
Is
King of
is this
intention.
your accountability segment? This is your holding accountability moment.
You a walking contradiction. Okay, guess what? Life is too. Now what?
It is. That's all. I'm glad.
I'm
you
a
admitted it.
human. Nigga, it's gray area make you human. Black and white makes you a computer, a robot.
Okay.
You ever call somebody like, I can't because, bitch.
Oh boy.
Like-
Let's get to the shits because I want to hear y'all take on this
Oh
from
my
this
God.
conversation.
1% better. Woo!
Let's get to the shits.
Let's
I'm
get
so
to this.
excited.
Let's have fun.